Welcome to the Wally Show Aftercast, all the things we did not get to during the course of the show today. In just a few minutes, we're going to have to get out of here to go interview one Mr. Ben Fuller. I hear he has a really interesting story about how he came to faith, and so I'm excited about talking to him. He's a guy that just, like, when you meet him, he just kind of radiates Jesus, and I know I'm not always the best at that, you know, and it's like, you
That's
see,
okay.
Yeah, I mean, you see, because it takes all kinds, because sometimes when someone's like, you're like, how you doing? He's like, God is good, you know, and like, for him, it's genuine, but for some people, that stuff comes off as like, oh, I don't want to be your friend, you know, and so I think we need both people, but for people like me that are a little bit more reserved with it, when you see someone like that, or someone like Mandisa, you know, it's like, oh, that's cool. That's something to aspire more towards. Although Mandisa, like, she had some really silent struggles too. And so then how much of that are you like, was it masking, you know, what was really going on? And I'm not speaking out of school. She's actually talked about it, you know, dealing with like suicidal thoughts and things like that. But that's my problem is like, sometimes I see people that are so happy, I question them. It's like I want to be like them, but then I question what's really going on, you know? And do you do that, Rock, at all? Do you?
No, I do, especially, too, as you get jaded with you see people falling off the ladder, you know, and they've been put up on this pedestal, and you're like, oh, them and God are like best of friends, and then something happens. But ultimately what it comes down to is men are never supposed to be up on a pedestal because we are all broken.
I have people all the time that are like, they get so disillusioned when somebody falls that they liked or followed, you know? Like, for example, I went to a church for 9 years, I think, when I got here, 8 or 9, and the pastor had an issue, and he, I still don't know all the details of it, but there was like some infidelity, and maybe even on both sides. Like, it was a mess. And it's funny because that's the one that I keep saying, the deeper the V in his t-shirt's got, the more you go, okay, we got to watch this. The more you start to look like Justin Bieber's pastor. What was that guy's name?
Lennox or something?
He was the type that wore... He looked like he wore glasses that he didn't even need.
Yeah, Like, they didn't have, like had
no
lenses in them.
or something.
Carl Lentz, yeah. And like, you're like, okay, you're getting super close to like the world kind of stuff. And like, but like when this guy had his issue, it didn't faze me. I was sad for him. I was sad for his family. Because they were going through something, but I wasn't like, where's my faith? Oh my gosh, what do I do? You know, the person I have looked to and valued is fallen. Because I learned a lot from him spiritually. And so it would be easy to go, well, everything he said is a lie, you know, but that's not true because we all have our mistakes and our bents, and it doesn't. Just because you have even some big moral failure, it doesn't undo all the good that you've done or all the truth that God had imparted, like in this case, to me through him, you know? And it's stuff that's carried me still today because it was truthful. But people do that. They get so disillusioned when somebody falls. And that's what, to Betty's point, it's that you can't put people on that pedestal because they are always at some point in time by commission or omission are going to let you down, you know? So, all right, let's get into some stuff here. Speaking of being let down, there's a children's clothing brand that was facing some criticism. Like, I saw the first little bit of the story, but then I saw it on Good Morning America and stuff, because sometimes when you see a story that you're reading and they're like, and it's gone viral, you're like, did it really? But then you start seeing it on news sites and stuff like that. It's a baby clothing company, and so they are facing criticism over the way they handled an employee's request to work remotely while her newborn son was treated in a NICU unit.
Okay.
So you're thinking a baby clothing company is going to have a pretty good handle on, hey, we have moms that we serve. Let's take care of the moms that serve here, you know? And so I guess that wasn't the case. They had adopted this newborn. The newborn was in the ICU, the NICU. And this lady was like, I want to work from home. And the CEO or the owner, I don't remember which one it is, but basically the top person was like, no, and denied it. And I had to imagine the lady who got denied was like, wait, what?
Yeah.
So somebody took it to Twitter, apparently, and TikTok and all these other things. And so it's interesting because the lady who made the decision received more than 2 million views when she went and apologized. So the lady says, okay, we've made a mistake. And she goes and apologizes.
To the mother.
Online. She said she tried to reach out to the mom directly and was not successful. Maybe she was blocked or something. So she does an apology online. And it got like 2 million views. But even that, like, people started criticizing her, saying it was inauthentic and not going far enough to support the employee. And other people then, of course, jump on the bandwagon. We're going to boycott the brand. So this is where it gets funny. So shortly after the first apology video, she posts a second apology video, apologizing for the first apology video, which she acknowledged the first apology was scripted and it wasn't sincere because you can't please anybody. These days. She explained in the second video that she was the one that messed up and took responsibility and denied the request to work remotely. And she says, I 100% own that. But as I think about this, where she makes one apology video, then people react. So they react first, she makes an apology video. They react again, she makes a second apology video. Where does it end when somebody else goes, well, I don't like this one either, And it reminded me of this bit we had seen of this Scottish police officer apologizing in a politically correct world. It's really funny.
I'm delighted to be joined by a member of the Chinese community as I apologize for using the phrase Chinese whispers. I appreciate that this is deeply offensive to the Chinese. I completely understand why they went totally mental. I'm delighted to be joined by a mental health campaigner to witness my apology for using the phrase, they've gone mental. Gone are the days when getting an apology out of me was like getting a fiver out of an Aberdonian, eh? I would like to apologise to the largest Aberdonian community. Aberdonian feelings are important. I'm surprised, actually, that our diversity officer didn't make that clear to me. Honestly, sometimes around here it's like the blind leading the blind. I would like to apologise to Scotland's blind community. I hear your concerns, and I promise you they will not fall on deaf ears. I would like to apologise to the deaf community. I would like to say sorry. When I realised what I'd said, I had a fit. I apologise unreservedly to all of the epileptics in Scotland for my use of the word fit. I completely understand why you've got a bee in your bonnet. I would like to apologise to anyone connected with bees or the wider bee community. Bees indeed are a vital part of society.
Oh, gosh.
I tried my best to get to a statement that wouldn't offend anyone. I really did, but I do like to kill two birds with one stone.
Hey.
I would like to apologise to the entire avian community for my cruel and insensitive words.
Oh, that just kills me because, it's satire, but it really feels like that's the world we live in today when everybody is offended and everybody has a platform now, because that's the blessing and the curse of social media is people that before wouldn't have been able to complain. You write a strongly worded letter that no one sees. Now it goes viral, it gets picked up, and then people are held accountable in air quotes for their shortcomings, and they have to go do the work, again in air quotes, just to make 4 people who are oversensitive. Okay, I'd like to apologize to the oversensitive community,
You doing the air quotes reminds me of a classic Chris Farley SNL skit.
Oh, yeah.
He's like, just because I don't let my scabs heal.
Oh, yes.
Just because I
don't have good hygiene. Yeah, I remember
Hey,
that.
that's a great let into my topic.
Oh, you have one? Oh, you do have this one. You've been
hygiene.
waiting on doing this all day long, too. All right, Rock, let's go. We'll segue.
All right, I've got a couple of hygiene habits they're bad hygiene habits that have gotten way too common. And when I approached this to Wally, I said, I want eye contact because there are a lot of things on this list that he does.
Probably most, if not all.
And the problem is that no matter how many people come up to him and say, this is a problem you need to fix,
Right.
he will say no.
Yeah, that only makes it worse. That is. I've always been that way as a kid. Like being badgered about something or having more people gang up on you. It only strengthens my resolve to not do something.
Even if it makes you look gross.
Yes. Yeah, I don't care at that point. I will double down and go further. But I've been wired that way in everything in my life. I don't know why the Lord did this to me, but it's
Once again the victim.
Well, yes, exactly. But it's part of what makes me good at this job. because you have to stand against everybody and you have to hold your position and your ground. And that's a requirement in this job.
For sure, but
Yeah.
I would think certain hygiene situations are not part of the job.
Well, let's go through some of them. But I'm saying the principle is the same. My being resolute.
It's good to be resolute on certain things,
Right.
especially things that you believe in that are, have to do with
I
good
got you.
and bad.
All right, so let's talk some hygiene.
Never cleaning your phone or your keys. So do
Okay.
y'all clean your phone or your keys?
I mean, I wipe my screen down just so I can see the smudges
Wipe
off
it
of
with
it.
what?
I'll use I'll definitely use my shirt. But like I'll use like an eye cleaner, like an eyeglass cleaner. I'll do that sometimes, but I don't ever like disinfect my phone.
See, I do.
Do you? You wipe
How
your whole
often,
phone
though?
down?
I don't think I do it too often, but definitely probably once a month.
Really?
But there are times where if I'm like around a bunch of people that are sick, I will definitely, because it'll bother me.
Really? I typically, now I got to cough. I don't think I've ever I think maybe the only time I ever did it was maybe during COVID. I think I was at
sure.
I was at a store and we were trying to figure out something. And there was a plexiglass between us, and the lady steps around the plexiglass, and it's like, here, let me see your phone. Do you mind if I use your phone? I'll show you where it's at. And I'm like, yeah, sure, go ahead. And then that time I walked out of the thing, and I'm like, maybe I should disinfect that just because of everything going on. That's the only time I consciously think I've done it.
Yeah. Like it's one of those things where if I don't do it, it'll bother me because
Really?
I'm thinking about every time I touch it. It's like touching a toilet lid or something.
Right.
Don't put it like that.
Yeah, see, that's the thing.
Even though it's true.
I just don't think like that because I know you could let that run on you. Where if that, my wife is like you too. Like my wife will think about it in those contexts, and so it will make her even more germ aware. You
Right.
know, whereas me, I don't think about it. So I don't. But there are
also,
times I've
but
thought
also
about
coming from a background that I was in, like I worked in daycare for
Right.
6 years, and I definitely saw what could happen
Sure.
with germs. So constantly having to disinfect for the children's sake
it. Right.
kind of led into
For the
my,
children.
my adult situation. This is a big one, and this is the one I need eye contact for.
Yeah.
Rinsing your hands in the bathroom.
Yes.
Okay. That is, if you don't do that,
Yes.
it's considered a bad hygiene habit.
I've heard that. Yes, I've heard that.
Okay, moving on.
Yeah, I've heard that.
You've heard
I have heard that. I've heard that. I'll tell you what, there is a weird social pressure, not here, but at the airport.
to wash your
Yeah, it's really weird.
So it's when people are in the bathroom with you
Yes.
that you feel judged.
You feel
but
like-
if you're in
yeah.
if it's a single sitter,
yeah.
then you're like, I'm not gonna wash my hands.
Yeah, exactly. Or if there was like hand sanitizer, I don't like soap and water for some reason. I don't know why. I just don't. Like while you're trying to get back to your job and your hands are kind of still wet. Like I don't mind.
Try them off.
What's that?
Try them off.
But you don't always have time, and I hate that. Like,
Yes, you do.
I do
I
it
don't know
8
why you
times a
always.
day.
yeah, you do.
Yeah, you always act like you wait till the very last minute to go pee.
Sometimes that's all I have, and I'm like, oh, I got to go real
But
quick.
you've got plenty of time.
Yeah, I don't
there
know.
have been times. Yes, I do know. You come out and we've got 2 more songs.
But there is a weird social pressure on me that when you're in the men's room and like everybody's there, you kind of look around, you're like, should I wash my hands? And then if one brave soul that you've noticed goes out without washing his hands, you instantly go behind him. Or sometimes you do that and then you pretend to wash your hands.
What is wrong? There's more effort in trying to pretend than there
really
is
is.
just do.
And there's also another thing. I don't know what it is.
Especially in bathrooms, a
Yeah.
public
I
bathroom.
know. I don't know what it is.
That's disgusting.
Well, you don't have to really touch anything. That's the thing about
Does
it.
Marty know you do this?
Yeah. And she's not thrilled either. But you don't have to touch anything in a public bathroom.
Yes, you do.
No.
When you lock the
You don't know. We have stand-up things.
So you don't even touch the
No.
lid. What about flushing?
You don't touch it. It's all automatic. You touch nothing. That's the thing about it. Like, it's worse to go touch things in the restroom. Like, when I walk in, I'm touching nothing that anyone else has touched, you know? And so, but the weird thing is I have vampire hands. I stick my hands under where the
This is all
automatic
excuses.
where the automatic water thing is, won't work. It does not recognize my hands. I don't care where I put high, low, medium, in, out. I sit there. It looks like my hands are doing a dance. It looks like I'm washing my hands with invisible water. It will not. I'll go to another sink. It doesn't work. I don't know why.
Here's a shocking truth.
Yes.
You go to so much effort to not wash your hands,
Yes.
but yet when Vanilla Ice goes into a public bathroom
Yes.
at the airport, you will run after him.
I followed him to talk to him. Yes.
Yeah,
Because
he
I
could have
felt
been washing his hands. You would have washed your hands.
100%. Yeah, I would have been. Hey, you wash your hands too? Me too, Vanilla. Hey, we're pretty cool. We're cool, right? What else you got on the list?
Being a shoes-on household, meaning you wear your shoes in the home.
I have never
is something
fully
else
understood
Wally
this.
does.
I don't see anything wrong with it. I never ask anyone. People, my friends Molly and Greg were a shoes off household, so we got used to it. Every time we'd come in, we'd go through their back door like family, and we'd walk in. We'd just walk in the house, but we would always take our shoes off because that was their rule. I've never understood that. Like when they come to our house, I'm like, oh, they always take their shoes off right away. I'm like, you don't take your shoes off if you don't want to. And like, oh no, it's fine. This is what we do. Like, okay. Like I don't care if anyone wears shoes in my house because I never thought of it as like, oh, you're bringing all the dirt from outside in. I always thought of it as like if you've got carpet, yeah, I get it. You don't want that carpet stained, like with something from someone's shoe versus a hardwood floor. It's not a big deal.
I guess in some situations, people like if you want to relax, you sit on. For me, and for instance, I will sit on the couch and I will bring my feet up on the couch to recline. Okay.
Yeah, I don't do that.
Ew.
Yeah. No. So I don't have my shoes on because that would be disgusting. If
that's fair, yeah.
It's like wearing your shoes and getting inside your bed.
Yeah, okay.
That's disgusting.
So I will, if in the middle of the day, because you've told everybody that I don't take my shoes off in the middle of the day. I get home at like 1 or 2.
9 p.m. He's still got his shoes
until
on.
I go to bed.
When do they come off?
When I get a shower. I take my shoes off when I get a shower sometimes. No, but like,
do your shoes smell?
No, that's part of the other thing.
That's
if they
amazing.
smelled, I probably would take them off. But like, say my wife and I are gonna it's 3:30 in the afternoon. I've finished working, and she goes, "Hey, let's watch a show." So if I get in bed fully to watch a show, like because we have a TV in our room, I'll take my shoes off if my feet are going under the covers. But if I'm not, if we're just kind of casually watching something, I hang my feet off the side of the bed with my shoes on. Because she doesn't want my shoes on the bed. And I understand that. So I hang my feet off the side.
That sounds like more
why?
work. That sounds
I don't
less
know, because I just leave
comfortable.
my shoes. Because if I know I'm just watching something for a minute, but then I'm going to go out to the garage and do something, or I'm going to work, or I'm waiting on her to get ready to go, and I'm just sitting there watching TikToks or whatever, I leave my shoes on, but I hang my feet off the side of the bed.
You're like a one of one when it comes to this kind of stuff.
Do you take your shoes off at home, Gavin?
Yeah.
Do you really?
I walk right in and take them off.
And
But
Betty does.
like I've got a lot more mud in and around
Sure.
the house because there's not like a perfect walkway from the street to the house. So
Yeah.
I take them off right away.
If you knew you had stepped in dog poop,
Yes.
Yeah.
I'd take my shoes off, wash them off outside. Absolutely.
put them back on.
No. Then I would leave those in the
Switch shoe.
I would leave those. I would leave those in the thing to dry, and then I did something really bad. This will be disgusting to people.
Oh yay.
But I worked in mainstream radio for a long time, and then we always wanted to shock each other and stuff like that. So we did a thing one time where everyone was. We did a story about restrooms, public restrooms, and everyone was disgusted and grossed out by it, and I did make a mistake. I threw down the gauntlet, was like, I will lick your shoe right now.
Oh gosh.
And I licked the bottom of someone's shoe, and we're all laughing, and I think it's funny. But later that day, my tongue was like, it felt tingling, and it felt like something was seriously wrong with my tongue. So I don't know if it was just my brain playing tricks with me, but I feel like I've done something really wrong here. This is bad.
That was the only time, though, that you felt like I did something bad was when it started tingling. Had it not tingled,
I wouldn't have thought twice about it. Yeah. But yeah, when I was like, this feels weird. Like, I'm like, did I do something? Like, did I give my tongue a sickness? Yeah. So that was gross.
Well, and finally, this is something that we talked about before, not replacing your toothbrush.
Yeah, I don't get that.
I replace my toothbrush when I think about it, but I would say I definitely replace it after I get sick.
You were the first person I've ever heard that from here on the show. And just recently, too, like I think maybe during COVID it came up.
Maybe.
Because I'd never heard that. I replace my toothbrush 2 times a year. Like each time I go to the dentist for my cleaning, I go twice a year. They give me a new toothbrush, and it's great. And so I would use that. Now I have a Sonicare one, and it's got a thing like the bristles are colored, and when the bristles go down to like where you don't see the color anymore, they say it's time to change that brush. So I have a bunch of brush heads in my drawer that I will change when that happens, but I don't change it when I'm sick at all. I've never heard that before.
Yeah, because you think about like it's in your mouth. Your mouth is full of germs, and will you constantly keep getting strep throat because you didn't change your?
I don't know. I wonder what a doctor would say to that. I mean, it can't hurt. I mean, there's no way that it could hurt you getting rid of that.
Yeah.
So it's not like it's not like by doing that you've actually probably helped your chances of not getting re-sick again. Maybe, but I don't know.
The same could be said for hand washing.
Maybe, I don't know. We're not sure. The ADA or the not ADA, the American Medical Society is still out on that. They're not sure.
If you touched a bird, handled a bird,
yeah.
Oh goodness, please.
Would you wash your hands?
Depends on what I'm doing. Like I hate birds, first of all. Like let's say I picked up a sick bird from the ground, absolutely. If someone was like, "Here's my parakeet," I would hold it and be like, "Cool." And then if I was just going on about my day, absolutely not. If I put the bird down and was gonna eat potato chips, then I would wash my hands.
But if you were going on throughout your day and not eating anything, you wouldn't.
I wouldn't. No, I would forget about it by the time it came time
bird.
to eat. Yeah, by the time it came time to eat chips 3 hours later, I wouldn't wash. I wouldn't have thought about it.
A baby bird, would you do that?
A baby bird?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You'd wash your hands?
No.
Have you seen what a nest looks like?
Oh yeah, they're gross. Yeah, waller in your mess there. In your nest, it's your nest now. Waller in it. You made the mess in your nest now. Waller in it. Yeah. Yeah, I don't like. My wife will tell me all the time, like, "Oh, you just pet this cat or this dog," because I get allergies, and she's like, "Wash your hands before you touch your face." And by that time, I've already stuck both hands in my eyes. I'm like, "Why?" And so I don't think about it.
Once again, this is like having babysitters.
I know.
So Marty takes over at home. I take over here at work.
I have a lot of cow in the field situations.
A lot.
Yeah, like if you're new to the show, cow in the field is when it's raining. There's a cow standing in the field, like, "Oh, this is weird," and there's like, I can't do anything about it. Just cow in a field, and that's my own theory on life sometimes in me. Like the other day, like when I fell on the ice and my hip is just killing me. It's still sore to this day. I love that you giggled about that. My wife was like, "Oh, well, why don't you take ibuprofen?" Oh, that's a good idea. I never think about that stuff. I'm like, I just deal with the pain or whatever. This is my life. I'm a cow in a field. I got to deal with this till it goes away. Like I never ever think about that. The only time I think about that stuff is if I'm sick, I will take medicine, and especially now more. COVID did make me more aware of that stuff and trying to nip something in the bud quicker, So I think COVID changed some things about me.
But not that hand washing.
No, but I will use like the hand sanitizer. Yeah, I do that.
That leaves your hands wet.
No, it dries. It all goes.
So does water.
No, the water I have to do the drying. This is like it does it for me. It's like having a drying
Your
concierge.
logic is so dumb.
It's like having a drying butler that just dried my hands. I don't have to do anything. Okay. So, all right, you got some birthdays?
I don't.
Oh, all right.
But I do have a question that's from Jennifer, and it is to me and Gavin.
Oh, good. I love this.
Delightful.
It's a little bit on the, I guess it could be on the serious side, maybe not.
Oh.
Question is, what is one thing you wish your parents did differently when you became an adult?
That's funny. Do they think it's so long ago that I was an adult that I couldn't remember? Like,
I think Jennifer had asked you another question, and we had done it earlier.
Oh, it's just funny to me.
This one is for me.
I don't know, and I'd rather have you guys talk about it.
So I would say mine would be, looking back now as an adult, and I think my parents would agree with me too, I wish I'd had a sibling.
Oh,
really?
I
wish my parents had said, you know what, I know we don't have the money, but let's have another.
But when you were a kid, you wouldn't have wanted that.
No,
though.
I remember them asking me one time, like, would you want a sibling? And I was like, no, because at that time, like, why would I want to share the attention with another kid?
That's the crazy thing about it. We asked my daughter, only child, same thing. She said no, but now I think she would want one. So we let our child dictate a pretty big decision,
Yeah, I think my parents, I don't know if I would say that I dictated it. I think they were okay either way kind of thing. But the main reason that they didn't do it was because they were the only ones here in Nashville. Our family was back in Arkansas and Louisiana, and they had to pay for private school for me because the public school system that I was designated for was not a good system.
And then they see how you turn out. They're like, oh, we could have put her in public school.
Right, exactly.
She would have been fine.
So they put me in a really small podunk Christian school. And I'm thankful for that. But that took a lot of effort from them. Like, that was them having to work, them having to take off work when I was sick. Like, it was just a lot for them.
There's this super conservative guy on TikTok called Date Night Stuff or Date Right Stuff, something like that. And he always does these quick ponderings, and it's always from the extreme right. But he's like, oh, the trans community will hate this one. When your 5-year-old tells you he wants to be a pirate, you don't cut off his leg, and you're like, yeah, you don't let 5-year-olds and stuff make big life decisions because they don't know. They're not prepared for that. And so we let our daughter make a family life-altering decision younger. And I'm like, why did we do that? Because I actually would have liked to have had another child, too. I would have been fine with that. And so I wanted to adopt. Hayden, yes, exactly. The mythical son that I never had, Hayden. Hayden would hate me.
You might hate Hayden.
I might. If he was anything like this generation today of guys, I probably would.
He has a hermit crab business that's not
he paints the shells while he's painting his nails.
Goodness. We've painted a poor picture of Hayden.
Yeah,
Hayden's like, why can I not paint my nails if you're wearing earrings, Dad? That doesn't make sense.
Hey, Dad. Cute earrings.
Yeah, okay, touche.
Get
like, out of my house.
Hey, Dad, can I make you some hermit crab shell earrings? You never wear them.
So, but the point being, like, letting kids make these decisions that are altering their lives, like the whole trans stuff is insane. They're not able to make these decisions yet.
Hypothetical. I know you're going into serious, but I'm taking it back to silly.
Okay.
Let's say that Hayden is your hypothetical son.
Yes.
But Hannah is your hypothetical daughter.
Holy smokes, you're giving him a what?
So he's got Haley.
Yeah.
So now we're on number 3?
Yeah.
We're on his third kid?
No. I'm saying he didn't have Hayden.
Okay.
He has Hannah.
Oh.
So
Haley,
he had
then
Haley.
Hannah.
Yeah.
Now you have Hannah.
Now
you
I'm
had
broke.
Right?
Yeah.
So what if Hannah was like, but you let Haley take a theater degree. I want to do that too. And she only likes to follow in Haley's footsteps.
Right.
And now she's got a business where she raises and breeds hermit crabs and paints their shells. Daddy,
I know.
I can't pay my rent. What are you going to do?
Hannah, I love you equally, is what I'm supposed to say.
Did you say that to Hayden?
But I don't.
What?
Yeah.
You
Haley,
can't say that to Hannah. No,
Yes,
she's
you
crying.
can.
Haley's the firstborn.
Tough love.
And you're going to have to learn from her, and you're going to have to find your own way.
This is all lies because Hannah wants a $20,000 wedding just like Haley does. And now you're $40,000 in.
They're going to be different.
Yeah.
And she's getting engaged to Hayden, this is not your son, not her brother, but a Hayden.
A Hayden,
okay?
I hate him already.
He flourishes with his hermit crab.
Successful hermit crabs.
And she's like, Daddy, he just knows me. He just knows me. He knows my soul. And he just loves me for who I am.
He says you're a little bit mean.
Good. He should fear me. He should fear me.
Do we have your blessing, Daddy?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I don't want that kid.
Away.
I don't want that kid 100 feet near you.
I'm going out to sea, Dad, with my boyfriend.
Oh,
partner.
That would be really hard because your kids are different and you want to love them all the same. That'd be hard.
You saw that movie, the Zac Efron one, Iron Claw. You said that you and your wife did go see that.
Yes, sad.
But don't recommend. Straight up.
But the
recommend.
one part you're talking about is great.
Was like, so you all know that Carrie's my favorite.
I love that your dad is telling all the sons, Carrie's my favorite. He's doing great right now.
Now the rankings can change.
Yes,
so
I love that. I love that. He's
It's
like, you could be my
up.
favorite one day. And I'm like, you know what? That gives kids an honest assessment and something to work for.
That carries weight throughout the whole movie. Where
And it does.
That whole mindset. And it shouldn't be. I don't think
but
that's
it's
how
not
you
a horrible
should parent.
idea.
But
What
I think every parent has
one
the rankings,
more hypothetical.
though.
One more
They
hypothetical.
totally do.
Haley's where she's at. She got her theater degree and she's dreaming,
Yep.
wishing for the stars.
Yep.
Okay.
Is she successful or just
Hannah,
dreaming?
No, she's where she's at right now. Okay. She's working at Disney.
Success.
Okay. She's doing good. Hannah is very independent.
Oh.
and she's like going for her lawyer degree.
Love it.
She is paying every single bill.
Love everything about
You're
this.
not paying for any of her
She
debts.
even paid for your one of your toys.
new
She
phone.
bought you a drone.
Oh my gosh,
Oh my
Hannah,
goodness.
I love you so
She's got
much.
an account for
Okay.
your retirement.
Haley got me
Haley-
socks with her picture on them.
Now, and a card that she drew.
Yeah.
Okay, now Haley calls you and she's like, Daddy, I can't pay my rent because she's got her Disney job.
Oh,
And
this is Haley.
Yeah.
and
This
it's
is
not
Haley.
going
Not
well.
Hannah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
So what do you tell her?
Okay.
Ask
She's your
Hannah.
firstborn.
Yes.
Do you have a favorite?
Yes.
And what do you tell Haley?
I tell Haley, do you still have plasma that you can sell? Okay.
Because if you don't, I'll sell mine
Right.
for you.
No. You're
Yes,
gonna need to
you
go
will.
sell your
Yes,
plasma.
you
Okay. I would say, okay, Haley, here's the deal. I'm gonna pay for it this one time, but you're gonna move in with your sister Hannah so that you can learn how to be a responsible adult from her because she's doing it great.
What if Hannah
you
picks
would
up the
say
phone and is
that?
like, why are you having Haley move in with me? I don't want
I'm
this.
like, Hannah, you're gonna have to help her because like she needs you right now. I know
But
you're the younger
Daddy-
sibling, but you're actually my favorite and you're doing well. You are killing it.
Take
and so,
care of her for me.
Yeah.
What do you
You're gonna
need?
have to. I obviously failed with her. I did something right with you, but I obviously failed with her.
I like Hannah.
Hannah's pretty cool.
Hannah's the daughter.
Hannah's a
Not
go-getter.
that you wish you had.
Yeah.
But
no,
you're like, I would
Haley's
appreciate
great. But I like hypothetical Hannah.
Hypothetical Hannah and Hayden.
You're
Oh,
yeah.
that's so
You should have
funny.
had more than one.
No,
kid.
see, that's why I think that's why I only did have one because I don't know that I could not play favorites. It's like people have always accused me here of Betty being my favorite. Like,
and it's true.
right.
It's 100% true.
Absolutely. Like if someone's
It's a
getting a
dumb
kidney
question for anyone to question.
Right. And so for anyone to try to step in between that is ridiculous. No, but people have said
Even if I try to step in the
yeah,
between.
yeah, I like hypothetical Betty a lot. No, no, but like, yeah, people are like, "Oh, Betty's your favorite," and I'm like, "Well, she's been with me the longest, and she's
up with you the
she's
longest.
endured the most."
That's true.
Quite honestly,
Yeah.
I put this girl through it.
Yeah.
But she's been loyal,
Mm-hmm.
like, and I reward loyalty 100%.
Haley's been loyal. She gives you a birthday card every year that
She makes
drew.
it, and it looks like an 8-year-old did it.
She's artistic in other ways.
Yeah,
Aw.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it so much.
Yeah.
Next
Someday.
time Haley is here,
We
we
should
need to
have
have
her
these
in.
conversations.
I would love
Because I would
that.
love to say,
Oh,
okay, Haley, you
absolutely.
have hypothetical siblings.
Oh, my gosh.
Hayden, he runs a crab
And
business.
shell painting
And
business.
It's not doing well.
And she doesn't have like a hypothetical better dad per se. Like you're already
Toby.
Mm-mm. Toby?
I did a rap one time with her where she
Really?
was like, at the end of the rap, it was like, "Hey, Toby, could you just be my dad?"
Bless.
It was funny. She's
I love
like, "I
the
feel
idea.
bad saying that." I'm like, "No, it's funny."
I need to talk to Haley. We
I
should
wanna-
have her on.
I want to know how she would say.
Yeah.
But
How
daddy.
does she feel
Like
about
how would,
daddy?
what's her?
Daddy!
Because that's you. But like, how
That's
would
the funny
she,
thing. What's happening is because my kid is not entitled, and
No.
my kid is not that whiny millennial. Now
No.
she's dramatic.
That's
for sure.
hypothetical.
she got that
Haley.
from her dad.
Yeah, absolutely. But it's funny because now people's impression is of your impression of
Oh,
her
for sure.
that doesn't even
not
really
even close.
exist. I know, which I actually think it's funny. It's like how everyone did George Bush. They were doing Dana Carvey doing George
yeah,
Bush.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true. I would say that Daddy
I know.
probably fits Hayden more than it does Haley.
Yeah, because she's
Poor
a
Hayden.
great kid.
He just can't cut it.
Yeah.
He's now living in his car that he remade into a hermit shell crab car.
now that I
to
do
make
like.
it look, and it says
Hayden's Hermits.
Hayden's Hermits. Okay.
I do like the
He's-
creative
and
the
he's-
creativity of that.
He's living in it, Wally. That's
Yeah.
your own flesh and blood. Living in a hermit
Smells
crab car.
like the sea.
I would
Just-
send him an MP3 of one of my favorite songs that I think would help him. It's "What Doesn't Kill You Makes You Stronger."
What doesn't
And kill you makes you stronger. Dance a little longer.
But then, Marty, your wife is going to be like, honey, Hayden needs to come stay with us. And yes, his hermit crab car is going to be parked in the driveway,
Yeah.
and the neighbors are going to have questions. But you need to be proud of your son. You only have one son, and he carries the name.
He's barely a son.
Tough.
That's tough. That's her.
Or Gavin. Gavin's heard that before?
I have not. I'm the favorite.
All right. We got to go talk to Ben Fuller, and we went longer than I thought we were going to go, but it was a lot of fun. So there you go. That's going to do it for your Aftercast. Thanks for being a potty.
Growing up in poverty has never been easy for children, but with the added challenges of the pandemic, conflict, and natural disasters, families around the world are facing an unprecedented food crisis. Unfortunately, those who are already hungry are now even more desperate. But by sponsoring a child through compassion, you can help provide life-sustaining essentials such as food and clean water. And with your compassionate support, that child can not only survive, but also flourish. You can find out how and choose a child to sponsor when you click on the compassion banner at wayfm.com.